Hey there, this is Dennis Anyone with Dennis Hensley. It's a podcast about making things up and making things happen. I love creative people who are resilient, who stick to their things and create things in spite of all the obstacles. And today my guests are multiple. I have many guests. There are 5 folks joining me, and they're all part of a new production of Xanadu the musical that is showing very close to my house in North Hollywood at a place called the Wisteria Theater. And it's a relatively new theater company. They've been, I think, doing shows for less than a year, but they do these really fantastic musicals like Avenue Q and The Wedding Singer and Putnam County Spelling Bee, and now they're doing Xanadu the musical. And so I went there, and it's kind of in an industrial neighborhood in North Hollywood. It's not like a cultural hub, you know? And I go in there, and it's like this business park, and then you go into the theater, and it's like this fantastic place right under my nose. And, you know, it feels like everything in the world is getting worse. Like just so many forces are just beating people down and squeezing people, and it's not a, you know, thrilling time to be alive. And so you go to somewhere where there's energy and enthusiasm and creativity, and they've made this thing, and there's all this youthfulness to it. I found it very inspiring. And so I was excited to see the show, and I loved it. And I was excited to talk to these people, and we're going to have them playing a game called You Don't Know My Life, which I co-created with my friend Jeb Havens. It was a box party game, and now it's an online thing that I do. So I haven't done one of these in a while, but we had a blast doing it. But you will hear that my voice is struggling. I've had a cold turned into a sinus infection, and it's kind of ongoing. I just started a steroid, so we're trying to get it in control, but you will hear me struggle. And at one point, I have one of the actors, Kelby Thwaits, take over for me reading the answers because he has a wonderful voice and mine was shot. So you'll hear some roughness, but there's lots of fun content in there. And if you live in LA, I hope it inspires you to go check out the theater. And if you're not living in LA, I hope it inspires you generally that, you know, fun people can come together and create something, and it's possible. So I hope those are the takeaways. Here's who you're going to hear on the podcast. We have Renée Wylder. She's the producer of Xanadu and the co-founder of the theater company with Lexi Collins. We have Lexi, who plays Kira and Clio. It's a double role if you know the musical. It's a little different than the movie. It's a lot different than the movie. She's also one of the founders of the theater company. We have Connor Bullock, who plays Sonny Malone. We have Kelby Thwaits, who plays Danny McGuire, the Gene Kelly role, but boy, is it different than the movie. And he's the one that takes over for me at one point with some of the speaking. And we have Brayden Hade, who is the director of the show. And I have a request for Brayden in this podcast. He wrote a director's message in the program that almost made me cry. I'm on the verge of tears every second of every day, but this was really thoughtful. And it was about, you know, creativity and inspiration and not being cynical. And I made him read his director's message on the podcast because I thought it was a work of art. I thought it was really beautiful. So you're going to hear that too. All right. Before we get to the actual game and the interview, I want to remind you that if you like this podcast, there are a few ways you can support it. You can go to DennisAnyone.net and leave a tip in my virtual tip jar. Help me cover my expenses. Help me pay for things like entering a podcast awards contest, which I am also in. You can do that at DennisAnyone.net. There's also a thing there called Buy Me a Coffee. So it's like for the price of a cup of coffee, you could say, hey, I enjoy the podcast. I always love that. We also have the podcast awards that I am nominated to be nominated for. So this is the last day, I think. If you're hearing this on July 31st. You may be hearing this on or before then, but if you haven't gone to the website and voted for me, it would be amazing if you could do that before July 31st. It's podcastawards.com. Just go in there. I think you kind of have to register and then look for me under LGBTQ podcast, Dennis Anyone. All right, and while you're there, my friend Romaine Patterson is on a bunch of categories as the Dildo Whisperer. So look for that too, like health and female hosts and stuff like that. She's awesome. All right, what else can you do? Oh, you can become a subscriber to DNR Studios. That's who I was just talking about. And for a monthly fee, you get my show early, and you get all these other great shows. So check that out at dnrstudios.com. All right, that's enough of the plugs. Here now is the interview and the game of You Don't Know My Life with the folks from Xanadu the Musical at the Wisteria Theater. Joining me now from different places in Los Angeles, it's the crazy crew behind Xanadu the Musical, which is currently showing at the Wisteria Theater in Los Angeles. My listeners know I go way back with Xanadu. I talk about it like every week. It's really crazy, but, you know, there it is. And you guys are doing this right here in my neighborhood. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I know. Well, I'm going to break down who we have here, actually. And then after I say your name, maybe just say a little hello so people can get their voices straight in their head. We've got the producer of the show, Renée Wylder. Hello, Renée.
Hey, hello. Happy to be here. Thank you.
We've got Lexi Collins, who plays Kira and is also one of the founders, along with Renée, of Wisteria Theater. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thank you so much. Excited to be here, too.
Can you do part of that in an Australian accent, which you nail, by the way?
Oi.
Nail.
Thank you for letting me be here. I love Xanadu.
If I were your friend, like your gay friend that hangs out, I would make you do that like every day. I'm surprised. I would do it. I would be like relentless. Anyway, Connor Bullock, you play Sonny Malone. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's absolutely gnarly to be here.
I love your Sonny Malone with a touch of Keanu that you bring to it. And we've got Kelby Thwaits, who plays Danny McGuire. Kelby, you look like the class act, like the veteran, that's what we feel in the audience. Like, oh, okay, here we go. Like, yeah. So welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. Yeah, I played Danny, and I make an appearance at the end as Zeus.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Let's not forget that, because there's all kinds of Greek stuff happening. And the director of the show, Brayden Hade, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
All right. So I want to talk about the Wisteria Theater generally, because I live in North Hollywood. I live a block from the Burbank Airport. I walk there when I go to fly away. And I don't know if you guys feel this way, but it feels like the whole world is just coming untethered, right? I don't know. There's a lot of angst in the air. So I hear through a friend that there's a new production of Xanadu, and it's happening in North Hollywood, someplace called the Wisteria Theater. I don't know. I've never heard of it. Maybe it's new. So I go to your grand opening, and it's in a business park that is like right across from the gym I go to. I could walk there, and it is the most. It's not a cultural arts mecca. It's this business place in North Hollywood, but it's new. It's very new, and I like the fonts on the business park. And then you walk in, and there's this wonderful new theater. And then I find out that it's the founders and the people running the show are these two young women, Renée and Lexi. And I'm like, there's reason to live. Look at people are not. Everyone hasn't given up. There's a new theater right in my neighborhood. Like, I don't know. There was something so heartening about the energy and the vibe, but also like the physical. Like, this place is beautiful, and you made it happen in this world and the post-pandemic. So, for Renée and Lexi, talk about the beginnings of this place and basically saving my hope for humanity with your theater company in my neighborhood.
Oh my gosh, that's so kind.
So kind.
Yeah, that stuff, I mean, that's how, we want people to feel when they come through these doors. You can just forget about everything that's going on in the world, and you walk in and you're transported into this new place that's doing a silly show called Xanadu.
Right. And it's one of a bunch of silly, not all silly, but like you've been doing show after show, Wedding Singer, Putnam County Spelling Bee, like you're doing a lot.
We are. We wanted to just hit the ground running. We've been a company for 3 years, and it took us that long to find a space. It's been quite the journey trying to find our home. But when we found this place, we just thought, oh my gosh, first of all, there's parking.
Yeah, no, parking's really easy. And there's a little hangout spot in the middle of the thing. Like, I mean, I might go sit there with my computer and my Starbucks and like hang out. It's a vibe.
Yeah,
it's a nice vibe here. It definitely is. We love it. We worked really hard on it, did all the decorations. You can see our arch behind us.
Yes. No, it has this feeling of like creativity and energy and youthfulness. How hard was it to pull this off? If you'd known how hard it was, would you have done it? Or was it like, I'm glad we didn't know how hard this was, or we'd have never done it?
we definitely questioned a couple of times, I think, while we were looking for a space. Like Lexi said, we started the company 3 years ago, but we didn't open until January. So 3 years ago, the dream really started in our living rooms, just trying to figure out what it meant to run a business and how to get people to come to your shows. And we started doing kids' birthday parties and just, things that we already kind of knew how to do. And there were a couple of times we definitely were like, do we want to continue?
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like such a big undertaking, kind of like what they're doing in Xanadu. They're opening this place, right?
Yes, I know.
Exactly.
This Wisteria is our Xanadu for sure.
Yeah.
But how did you walk into a business park and go, oh, I can see this being a theater? It's not the aesthetic, right?
Well,
It's not.
we have found or saw so many spaces that honestly, we suddenly had like this whole checklist of what we needed. We need a lobby or something that we can turn into a lobby. We need enough bathrooms. We need ADA bathrooms. We need high ceilings. So honestly, when we came in here, we were like, oh my gosh, thank goodness. We found it was a warehouse with, this big wide open, like lobby office space.
Right.
So it just kind of checked all of our boxes. And even though it was in this random business park, we just really were like, well, we don't care. We're going to make it into whatever we want it to be, and we're just so lucky we found it. Because honestly, we did think maybe we won't ever find a space.
I think that's amazing. You guys met doing a show, right? You're both performers?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
What show were you doing when you met?
Performers first. Oh my gosh, honestly, I don't even remember the name of it. Some unheard of, really bad superhero show that was like, I was knockoff Catwoman, she was knockoff Superwoman.
Yeah. It was a play. It literally was a 20-seat theater. All the actors were quitting. Like more and more actors were getting called in. It was insane. But we bonded over sticking through it and getting to know. And
we made a commitment, so we're going to follow through. We're going to do this bad show. And yeah, we've been friends ever since.
Yeah. And what made you think, okay, let's do a theater company together? Well, was there a frustration driving the opportunities that you had where you're like, you know what, let's just do our own thing? What got you to think we could do our own thing?
Sorry, I'm looking at Connor going,
Wonder what the answer here is.
Brayden, Connor, and I, and Renee were all part of this one theater, several years ago. And we loved the community aspect of it. I mean, we all bonded so much over the craziness of this theater, I guess I would say. And I think we all just kind of thought, well, how can we do this ourselves, but having better people in charge and
keep the good stuff and bring
exactly. And I think there's also just such a lack of live theater in Los Angeles. The really good ones that you hear of are really far away to drive. So the theater that the work that we're able to get in town was lacking a lot of things. And so we thought, hey, what if we did this and just treated people with kindness? So
there you go. That might be the headline of this episode. I love to pull a quote. What do you know more about than you ever thought you would know about? Permits?
Yes.
Lumber?
I would say, yeah. Sorry, what would you say?
Lumber, permits. What's the thing that you I know so much about this now?
I would say the building codes, architecture, measurements of ADA bathrooms.
Yeah, drywall, all that stuff.
All the things.
We have become architects, designers, accountants. You name it.
City planners.
It's just so impressive. And
yeah.
It has just a great spirit when you walk in, and it's just man, they did it. I think it's so cool. Connor, you know these guys from before, and I know you've done other shows together, but now you're playing Sonny Malone in Xanadu. Mm-hmm. There's a campiness to the show, but there's an earnestness to it, and we're going to get to that with Brayden, because I think that's his vision. How do you approach Sonny?
Oh, in my head, it's full camp, and then I wish I could say some answer about how I'm like finding the depth of the character. I'm going full camp, and then there are moments when Lexi pulls me in and I have a real moment with her, but I guess that's just like I'm just mirroring her legit energy in those moments, because I'm just all depth is fake from me. I'm copying Lexi's depth. I'm just trying to be funny, and I guess I'm hoping that's what's playing.
Right.
Yeah, anything that's playing well, I'm gonna say is a reflection of Brayden or Lexi happening.
Yeah. Michael Beck, the original Sonny Malone, he wore really short shorts in the movie. So how many pairs did you try? What went into it? Was there an intimacy coordinator to talk through the shorts?
There was no intimacy coordinator.
Please tell me those came from your own catalog, Connor.
I wish I was that fabulous. Unfortunately, none of them came from my catalog. The intimacy coordinator was the mirror in the dressing room, and she vetoed one of the shorts, which was just too snug. But I wear 3 pairs of shorts that I would never wear.
Yeah.
In 2025.
Unfortunately, I think for the world that I want them to come back. I came of age in the 80s when people would literally wear dolphin shorts to their college economics class at Arizona State. It was formative for me. Like I can
comfortable.
Yeah, why not? It was hot. Anyway, don't need a liner. You don't even need a liner. Anyway, but I love your take on Sonny, and I think your vocals are amazing. Kira, Lexi, what was your way into the character? How do you think of it? Because Kerry Butler did all these amazing original things, and if you listen to the cast recording, and you kind of echo them in a little bit, but you make them your own, and I think that's hard. Because you're like, as a fan, you're like, oh, this is where Kerry did this. What's she gonna do? And you do something else, but it feels fresh, but also it gives you that same little giggle that you get. So, how did you think about playing the character?
Thank you. I mean, I definitely listened to Kerry Butler nonstop, and I was like, wow, the way that the songs of this show is like perfectly in my range. Yeah. And so I was already really comfortable with that, but I was very scared about the accents and, crafting each character.
Because she doesn't have the accent the whole time. It's a shtick that she's doing. So you have to go back and forth. Yeah.
Yes. So I think I first kind of found Kira, and that was really fun for me because, Connor and I have known each other for 14 years now. So
Did you meet doing like children's theater in a park? Like you must have met when you were really young.
You could call it that. We went to AMDA New York together.
We met on the first day of musical theater class.
Yeah. When we were 18.
That warms my heart, you guys. Okay.
It was more trauma bonding than anything else, but it sounds like a nice story.
Yeah,
bonding,
I like it.
But yeah, I think that's where my comfort is. We just can play with each other and just have fun in the camp. But Brayden really helped me find Clio and how grounded she is. Kind of once I found that, it helped me differentiate between the characters.
Right.
And really playing the honesty actually was even funnier. So it was definitely a challenge, but it was the funnest. I'm going to say funnest, even though that's not a word. The funnest challenge ever. And, I owe a lot to Brayden for that.
Well, you guys are wonderful. And when you sing together, it's wonderful. How hard is the skating? Were you guys okay at skating before? Or was it a lot of work? Or are you like, oh, man, can we just fake the skating or what?
Well, Connor gave up a little bit.
I gave up a little bit. I'm supposed to have skates in the last number. Thank you for outing me, Lexi. And I asked to be removed from them because, oh my God, it is so, you're just, when you're on, at least for me, when I'm on skates, it just throws you off balance. And so things that you can usually do like in the back of your head, like singing and acting and stuff, you have to be actively thinking about everything you're doing because you can't walk, you can't move your feet.
Right.
So all of a sudden everything is an active choice and it just completely takes away, at least for me, I don't know how Lexi's doing it because it throws you so off balance. She got it fast.
First of all, thank you for saying giving up because I feel like 2025 is the year of giving up. I think about it every day. So thank you for owning it. Just thank you for saying the quiet part out loud. How is the skating for you? Because you do it a lot, Lexi.
I do. I think I am so much more comfortable now. In the beginning, I was excited for the challenge because I used to roller skate as a kid, but I put those on like the first day and I was like, oh, I got this, and just completely fell on my ass.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, reality check. And so any chance I could, I put them on and I would just skate in here, and just honestly got some elbow pads and knee pads. So I'm like, okay, I can fall. I have to fall so I can not fall eventually. And now it's fun. I mean, it's still hard. I think the week in between the shows, like on the Friday night show, I'm like getting back into the like gliding of it. But,
right. I know the show's already set and mounted, but you guys could pull a Sunset Boulevard thing and you could go out in the parking lot and just do big loops, right? And take a camera out there, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't have to do that. I mean, we get it. You're halfway through your run.
I'm like, you should do that. I know. I tried to go down our ramp once, and that was absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying. Oh my God, I did that too. Went down the ramp. You almost never saw me again. That was
it.
Yeah.
The rest of the cast is terrific too, and Kelby, talk to me about your take on Danny McGuire, because he's different than he is kind of in the movie, the Gene Kelly character. What appealed to you about it?
To me, I just wanted to approach it from a fresh new take or a fresh new perspective. Nothing against Gene Kelly. I mean, he was fabulous, fantastic, or Tony Roberts. So I was really drawn in by Brayden's vision for the project, and that was really what set the standard and kind of laid the groundwork for how it gave us permission to approach these from a very genuine perspective initially, trying to find connect with a true, multidimensional, true essence or true layered person, and then find the camp and let the camp kind of come out organically for it. Danny, fortunately gets to have kind of a rebirth in a way, or a re-remembrance of his artistic ways that he had let go because he was so into money, etc. Or my take on it is just that he was too afraid maybe to take that final risk, the artist risk,
right.
that because you really just, as an artist, I think of it as it's the most beautiful curse you could ever be given.
Thank you.
A curse. It's terrible.
It's the story of my life. It's the story of this podcast. We talk about this all the time.
We're stuck. We're slaves to it, right? So, so Danny has a second chance to maybe kind of redeem himself internally or personally, artistically, and then he unfortunately still kind of goes for money, but then he redeems himself ultimately. Spoiler alert: Danny has a conversion.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah. You have a great voice and great moments in the show, and what you were saying just now. I have this friend that doesn't live here and visits occasionally. And I think she wished she had gone for something more creative in her life. And she looks at me and I can feel that she's like, you did it. And then she pays for the check because I can't. It's this thing of both of us are like, if we could just mix it. Anyway, we'll take half your money and you can have half my, projects or whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, but I relate to that theme so much. Brayden, the director of the show, you wrote a director's note in the program.
Yeah.
And I read it, and I literally got teary reading it.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's because I think it's really deep. And it's also what I think about all the time. Because I'm at that place where, oh, shit, I followed my bliss, and it didn't know where it's going. It doesn't know where it's going. So do you have it handy? Can you share a little bit? I want to, because I think it's really resonant. Not just with your show, but just with everything.
Yeah. Would you like me to read the whole thing?
Read the whole thing, and I may cut it up.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
cool.
But no, go for it.
All right. When Xanadu opened in 1980, it was a critical disaster. An opulent roller disco fantasy so out of sync with the cultural moment that it helped kill the movie musical for a generation. The 2007 Broadway adaptation turned that failure into camp, elbowing the audience as if to say, we know this is dumb, laugh with us. But I think Xanadu is something far stranger and more sacred than that. At its core, it's a myth about creation. What if inspiration were a real living force looking for a human collaborator? What if making something joyful, even absurd, was an act of divine defiance? I directed this show not as a parody, but as a sincere invocation. Inspired by the ancient belief that ideas are sentient and seek us out, I chose to stage Xanadu as a story about the spiritual cost of creativity, the loneliness of artists, the courage to chase something ephemeral, and the mess that happens when the gods actually answer your prayer.
Yeah, now you know why I'm crying in the theater. Okay, continue. Like the loneliness of it, though, like the what am I doingness of it. Yeah.
No, honestly, yeah. Yes, we're spoofing things. You'll see nods to Jamie Lloyd's minimalism, Oklahoma handycams, six lighting, because the current prestige theater machine has its own sacred cows worth mocking. But we use those tools to dig deeper, not to deflect. This is Xanadu. This Xanadu is a VHS dream world haunted by ghosts of artistic ambition. The muses don't just inspire; they manipulate, seduce, and ultimately stand back to see what we do with what we've been given. The actors committed with their full hearts. They didn't wink. They didn't smirk. They didn't hide behind irony, and that's what matters. It's a quiet rebellion in a world that rewards distance over depth and detachment over devotion. A generation of artists branded their fatalism as personality and confused nihilism with intelligence. But I don't see bravery in a shoulder shrug. I see it in the choice to care anyway, to fall in love with something doomed, to say, even this is sacred. And yes, there's camp, but not the kind that sneers, the kind that loves too much, that worships sequins and believes Olivia Newton-John was touched by something eternal.
Which she was. Yeah.
She absolutely was. Both in her presence in the source material and in the hearts of millions, reminds us that beauty can be soft, generous, and quietly transcendent. This show has always been dismissed as fluff. This version is a love letter to anyone who's tried to make something beautiful and been laughed at, to anyone who risks sincerity in a cynical world, to the muses who visit us fleetingly, and the strange, holy task of being ready when they do.
I mean, that's like a college dissertation. Did you guys know? Has he always been this smart? Like Lexi and Renee? Like, that's where he's coming from. Yeah. So in practice, what does that look like, Brayden, when you're working with the actors? Like, how do you walk the line of campy enough, but also like emotional and sincere?
Yeah, well, honestly, what we did, we kind of we approached it really with a sincerity first. We really played out the beats for the emotional depth, for the storyline. We tried to kind of bridge down to earth and the Xanadu movie and the Xanadu play, and kind of make a through line with all the stories. Because there's Kitty and there's Clio and there's Ira. Wow, I can't remember people's names today. And there's the book kind of has aspects of each of those versions.
Right.
So we kind of tried to bridge that story and make something cohesive that made sense, really delve into the emotion and the storyline, the story of Kira trying to become an artist and a human in the end, which I think is something that really stood out to me about this show, that when I saw it, I didn't really think of that. But then when I was reading through it, I was like, this is really a story about a woman who wants to create and wants to throw off the shackles of what she's supposed to do.
Right. Because
it immediately became feminist, which I love that happened. And a lot of it was like certain things we did to kind of further along that idea. Like in the original version, Sonny kisses Kira and it's a throwaway moment. In our version, she kisses him, and it becomes complete destruction. Like we put in a sound synth underneath that makes it really dark and really up the stakes of that moment. A lot of it was just trying to really up the stakes to the point where they're almost absurd. You really see that in the second act with Thetis when she comes in for in Olympus, because it's almost at a level of melodrama, more like Durang humor as opposed to like I don't know, early 2000s Broadway humor, which I think I'm going to push back on Connor a little bit when he said that he just smiles and gets through it. He's putting a lot of depth in there, and he's hitting that Durang comedy like perfectly. Silly character in this world, but also there's really hurtful moments, like the fall, like makes people cry sometimes. I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's very. First of all, the music, you cannot go wrong with those songs. Are they a blast to sing, Lexi? Are they, yeah. What's your favorite one to sing?
Fool.
Yes. Fool Country, because it was kind of not on the soundtrack, and it's a little, I like it. Interesting.
Yeah, I love that one. It's so short, but it's so much fun. And I got like my muses behind me.
Yeah.
And we're just,
it's the leopard print number in the finale for the people that don't remember. Connor, what's your favorite part to sing?
It's either Suddenly, which is our first song as a duet. And
so beautiful.
Such a good song, or Don't Walk Away. It terrifies me every time I do it, but I just think the song is so good. Like, it's one of my favorite songs in musical theater canon right now. I'm obsessed. I love the soundtrack to the show. It's so good.
Yeah. Kelby, what do you love doing the most as Danny?
Ooh, I really, really love, I love getting a chance to perform a character arc and evolution where he grows, where he goes through that depth. So I really enjoy, it's not a huge amount of stage time.
Right.
But the moments that he's in there, he's always moving from one state of being to another within his world, whether he is not necessarily aware of it. It's kind of happening to him, and it's sort of he's getting forced out of his comfort zone back into where his heart belonged before, and grappling with that. So I really enjoy that kind of a dynamic, and I love working off of Connor and Lexi. That could not be more enjoyable. Just it's absurd and also just a joy. It's like sheer joy every time.
What's it like for you to be around this youthful theater company and this energy and this optimism? What's it been like as somebody that's closer to my age, probably?
I guess I just naturally feel kind of like a kid, so
right.
It just feels sort of normal.
I love it. All right.
He fits in well. Yes.
All right, we're gonna play this game now. Okay, so this game is called You Don't Know My Life, and how it works is I came up with a couple of questions related to your show, and I'm gonna pose them, and then everyone's gonna submit an answer, and then we're gonna take turns guessing who said what. So here is the first question. Xanadu, as we know, is all about dreams. When was a time in your life when you thought, OMG, this is a dream come true?
This might be rough because we know each other so well.
No,
right.
How am I going to stump you?
I think big things that we all would like.
Yeah. Maybe something when you were a kid. Okay, everyone submitted their answers. We're going to present the answers, and then I'll explain how the guessing works. So when was a time in your life when you thought, OMG, this is a dream come true? Here's the first answer. The first time I went to Disneyland, and my dad bought me a churro. And a close second would be booking my first national tour with an orchestra, tied with the week I got to stay home from school with the chicken pox watching cartoons. I love it. We have a medley of things. So
yes,
that pound sign and that block at the bottom, we call that the hashtag. So we just need to come up with a cute headline for this one that captures it. I definitely think churro. Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought.
How about churro pox child? Okay, there we go. Opening night of Avenue Q 2021. The world was back. We weren't trapped in our houses anymore. Theater was back, and it was a clear step towards everyone goals. I just remember feeling so proud of everyone. Ooh.
Cute pride. Yeah.
You pride.
All right, that's cute. All right, here we go. Next one. Traveling to Chicago to sing on a Christian TV show. Wow.
Oh, my. Traveling Jesus. I don't know.
Jesus take the wheel. How about Jesus take the wheel?
Take the wheel.
All right, next up. The first time I went to dinner at Salsa and Beer, which is very close to the Wisteria Theater. All right.
Oh, dream come true.
I know.
Advertising for Salsa and Beer.
How about Sexy Salsa?
Sexy Salsa.
Okay.
That place is great, by the way.
Opening night of Avenue Q at Wisteria. Interesting. We have two matches. All right. Ooh. Let's see.
Two different Avenue Q performances.
Oh, different ones.
Yeah.
How about this? Wisteria Hysteria. Get it? Like they're so excited.
We love that.
All right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're into it. When I was in high school and I got accepted into an acting program at Northwestern University in Chicago, they flew me out to flying to Chicago, notice that. And I got to take a 5-week acting intensive as a teenager. To this day, it's the coolest I've ever felt. Wow. How about intensive? Okay, so we've got our answers, we've got our hashtags, and now the guessing's going to start. And Connor, since you're the first on the player board, I'm going to let you guess first.
Jesus take the wheel. We all know who this is.
Okay.
This was the one for us. Come on, Renee.
Okay, you think that is Renee. Okay, so Renee,
Yes.
if that is you, you say yes, and Connor gets a point. But if it's not you, you have to say the name of the game. You don't know my life with as much sass as you may be feeling. So Renee, are you Jesus Take the Wheel?
I wish I could say you don't know my life, but yes.
Yes, I love it. All right, so how old were you? When something's guessed correctly, we like to find out a little more about it. So what happened?
Okay. Yeah, I picked a funny story because I was in, I think I was in 8th grade, and I was in this girls' chorus singing group, is what they called it, and we would sing around at churches and nursing homes. And there was a day where we found out that we got to go to Chicago to be on this big TV show. And we got to sing these songs. And I was like, as an 8th grader, like, I have made it. This is my big break. Like, this is.
Yeah, the height of glamour. Now you're going to be discovered. Yeah. It's all happening.
Exactly. It must happen. So we get there, and it's not in Chicago. It's like in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. You know, cake makeup on my face, crazy hair. We're singing, and like looking back, it's pretty funny and embarrassing for me because I was like in, awkward stage, peak of awkward stage, singing on this TV show. And, it probably made my grandparents very proud.
Did you end up watching it later when it aired? Did you see it?
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Oh, we've all watched it.
Oh, you've all watched it? I love it. What's the name of the show?
3ABN was the name of it was Orangeville Girls Chorus.
I love it. I love it. You know what? It's so sweet. You know what? I love it. When you win your Tony, and you go on Letterman, you could be like, and they'll be like, we have a clip, and then you can act really embarrassed. Okay. So that was Connor's guess. We're going to go to Kelby for the next guess. Pick a hashtag and who you think it is.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to guess that intensive.
Yeah, the Northwestern one.
I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to stick with my gut.
Brayden, are you intense?
You don't know my life.
All right. Well delivered. Thank you.
Good.
I like it. All right. Lexi, it's your guess.
I'm going to go with Sexy Salsa is Connor.
Connor, are you Sexy Salsa?
Girl, you don't know my life.
I like it. You guys, I knew the actors would deliver these lines well. I appreciate it.
What?
Right. What?
All right. Renee, your guess.
My guess is Wisteria Hysteria is Lexi.
Lexi, Avenue Q at Wisteria. Is that yours?
Yes.
Yes. So did you guys do it before and then you did it at the new theater?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about it when it opened here. What was so special about that night?
Well, it was our very first production and our very first space. And my parents were here and a lot of our family and friends. And I just remember getting off stage and just like bawling with so much joy because we finally had done it. And I will never, ever forget that night. It was incredible.
Well, it wasn't just the show. You built the place. What part did you play in Avenue Q?
Kate Monster and Lucy.
Oh, fun. Fun. All right. I love it. All right. Let's go to Brayden for the next guess. Pick a hashtag and who you think it is.
I know who all these are. So I'm like, which one do I want to incriminate right now?
Can I just say, anytime somebody says that, they crash and burn, but no pressure.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Intensive is Connor.
Connor, intensive?
Yes, that's me.
So exciting. Yeah. So what was it like? Was it like all these cool teachers and other students and stuff?
Yeah, it was everyone. They have this thing called the Cherubs program. It's for juniors going into seniors in high school, and it's a 5-week intensive, and it's like a college acting conservatory-ish where every week is different. You have a morning class and an afternoon class, and it's like Shakespeare, improv, monologues, writing a one-man show. There's like all these very, very specific acting intensives with professors they bring in from like bunch of colleges all around the country to like teach at this one thing. And they like brought in like, it's like there was like 300 of us from like all over the country that came in. It was like from the end of June to early August. It was like the coolest week of my life. Also, side note, Chicago is like the windy city and it's known for being cold in the winter. It's also terrible in the summer. It was so hot.
Yeah.
It was so humid. It was disgusting. But a small price to pay for an incredible, I was like, I made it. That's a
huge thing, right? Like, and great experience and great training.
Yeah. It was unmatched. It was really, really cool.
And were the kids having that summer camp energy with crushes and breakups and drama?
Oh, yeah. And I got to soft launch coming out of the closet there because it was like nobody knew me. So I got to come out of the closet.
You got to do a soft launch there?
Yeah. Because then, I'm from a Christian school back home and it was like, it was like not the right environment for it. So I got to be like, oh, I'm okay as a person here. And then I got to go back to school and be like, you know what? I'm confident in myself. It was like, there was a lot going on. It was
That's amazing. You got to sort of be your authentic self. There's a movie right now showing in North Hollywood called Before We Forget at the Laemmle NoHo 5. I interviewed the filmmaker, but it's kind of about that. This kid from Argentina gets to go to this school in Italy and he gets to start fresh and be himself. And it saves his life in a way. So that's cool. I like it. I highly recommend it. All right. Brayden, you nailed that. Let's go to me for a guess. I think Churro Pox Child is Kelby. Is that you?
You know me.
Wow. So Kelby, you gave us the medley of the greatest hits. So you remember the churro vividly.
Yeah. That was actually a really sweet time because my dad took us to Disneyland and then he and I got to walk around together. He got me a churro. And ever since, the only churros that taste any good are the Disneyland churros. It was really great.
I love that that's the detail you remember about Disneyland. It's not Mickey Mouse or the rides. It's like that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was, the moment he bought the churro, we shared it together.
Yes.
They just only taste good at Disneyland. Churros are shitty everywhere else. Sorry.
And they only taste good when they're warm. If they get cold, they're not that good.
That's true. Totally true.
What was your first national tour?
First national tour was Scrooge the Musical. Nice. So I played the narrator and Jacob Marley in a tour of Scrooge the Musical, and we had an orchestra, which it wasn't all synthed out. So we had a 16-piece orchestra, which was really cool. And I was just like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. This is almost as good as the churro I got as a kid.
Right. And then chicken pox and cartoons for a week.
Yeah, that was the only thing good about chickenpox was staying home and watching cartoons. So
yeah, I used to watch game shows when I was sick. I was like, oh, The Price is Right. I can't wait. All right, Connor, it's your guess again. You've got me and Brayden left.
Okay,
this one's gonna be hard.
This is okay. I'm just gonna do it. Q Pride.
Yep.
The romanticization of the end of COVID era is the most Brayden thing I've ever read.
Yes. A second to that director's note from Xanadu. But yeah, so Brayden, The World Is Back, Avenue Q, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Talk about it.
Yeah, it was just a weird situation. Things had started to lift as far as like theaters and being able to go and use them. We had this theater that we all kind of had this toxic / enjoyable relationship with that Out of the Rubble kind of contacted me and then Renee and kind of all of us in this weird way to come back and do Avenue Q. And it was a weird process. It was, but it was just nice to be doing something again, be people and be creating art together. And then when it finally opened, I was like, that was a time when it could be for us and we could just enjoy it. And it was without any drama or politics of the space. It was just our night. And it was just really nice to, feel like we're doing what we're supposed to do again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just going to the theater when things started to open up, what that felt like, because we didn't know what was going to happen. So we came back. I think it's beautiful. My answer is the Salsa and Beer answer. And this isn't a joke. Here's my thing. I do dream boards, right? I'm into that. And so sometimes I put really easy things on there. And I was chatting with the woman at the post office, and I said that I'd just been to Mexico City and I love Mexican food and I could live on chips and salsa. And she goes, have you been to Salsa and Beer? And I'm like, no, but you're the second person that told me. So I was working on my dream board that week, and I put it on there as like, you know what? Maybe I won't be able to get a big job in a TV show, but I can go down the street to Salsa and Beer and make a dream come true. And so one night I said to my friends, I'm like, do you guys want to go there? It's on my dream board. We're going to make a dream come true. And we go there and it's so fucking great. And I don't know if it's great because I've built it up in my mind, but it's pretty great. The food is fantastic. They give you that bean dip. Oh. And the atmosphere is really unique and funky. And so now I've shared it with all my friends. And every time we go there, it's a thing. Like, it's not just a place we go. It's like a thing. And because, it's a dream come true. So that's my answer. Anyway, do you guys who's been there?
Oh, honestly.
All of us, right?
All of you. Like, it's a hangout. Okay, cool. I want to make sure.
Inside secret, all of our casting decisions for Wisteria Theater have been made at Salsa.
So we're going to do one more question and see how we do. Okay. You come across a diary entry that says, "A night at the theater I'll never forget." What's it about? What happens in it?
While we're here, this is for Renee, I guess, because she's done typing. Are you guys excited? Are you part of tonight? Are you excited to start the rehearsals tonight?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Finally.
I cannot believe you guys are going into another show right now. That's insane.
What show is this?
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods.
Oh my gosh. Tonight. Like, you guys are doing big shows. Is it hard to get the rights and learning about all of that stuff? And like, how is this all, how are you pulling this off? It's amazing.
With a lot of help.
Yeah, I love it. Kelby, you have an amazing speaking voice. Do you do a lot of voiceover and things like that?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Where might we have heard you?
Dead Space, the video game, or...
Right on. You don't know my life. All of the answers are in. Here's the question again. You come across an old diary entry that says, "A night at the theater I'll never forget." What is it about? You know what? We've got 6 answers to read. As you can see, I'm losing my voice. So, Kelby, you have that beautiful voice. Would you mind reading the answers?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd be happy to.
First up, we have this one.
All right, school ties. So, Lexi saying, "I'm going to need someone to help me fix this school," as a glitched out version of the school background, screen error, and Connor actively breaking on stage. Hashtag school ties.
Great. Next up.
Seeing the touring production of Chicago and going out to dinner afterwards with family. Hashtag all that jazz.
Next up.
In middle school, I played a tree in The Merry Wives of Windsor. 2 out of the 3 shows, I missed my cue and never made it on stage. Hashtag third time's the charm.
Next up.
I was doing a musical once where I had to wear an animal costume. One night, I got disoriented, and instead of taking my head off stage, I did it on stage and was teased relentlessly. Hashtag bad head.
All right, our 5th answer.
The intense Midwestern dark and stormy night as we were about to open a production of Oliver. Storm sirens were blaring. We rushed down to the basement storm cellar as a tornado passed across the parking lot of the theater. If only we had been doing The Wizard of Oz instead of Oliver. Hashtag it's a twister.
And finally,
being a 5th grader, watching my future high school's production of Anything Goes, and being amazed at the lead character who I quickly became obsessed with. It is one of my first memories of wanting so badly to perform. Hashtag born for this.
Thank you. Wasn't that pleasant? Like, you just took us right there with all of them. Now we're going to start the guessing. Kelby, you're going to guess first because Connor finished the last round. So pick a hashtag and who you think it is.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to pick school ties, and I'm going to say that is Renee.
Renee, are you school ties?
You don't know my life.
Interesting. All right. All right. Kira, it is your guess.
I'm going to sigh.
How do you know how long to drag out a word? Right? Because there's a duration.
I don't know.
So good.
School ties.
Brayden, are you school ties?
That's correct.
All right, so break this down. What happens here?
Okay, so we had this screen similar to the screen that you saw in Xanadu, but it was at this glitched out all the time. Honestly, the problem was there was a connector cable that was improperly installed, but it was driving us all insane because they'd be doing the show and like the screen would just disappear or would glitch out or would change. And they would improvise to try to make it work. And then finally it glitched out in such a way that the image was off, and it was like the building looked like it was falling apart. So they revealed the school to her, like, here's your school, Kate. And it's this disaster building that looks like it survived an earthquake. Without missing a beat, she's like, I'm going to need someone to help me fix this school. And Connor's like really in the moment, but then he just full on Jimmy Fallon's and like
he just
is
you can't
cracking up on stage. And it was just so funny. And then everyone was cracking up because it was just a perfect storm of hilarity.
Right. But first of all, Lexi, kudos for trying to make it work, trying to sell it. What was the show again?
Avenue Q.
Avenue Q. All right.
So it was the part at the end where, Princeton's like, can you take me back, Kate?
Yeah.
And, I'm supposed to say, well, I'm going to need to raise all this money for the school. I have so much to do. I don't know. And then he's like, we can take it one day at a time. It's a sweet moment. So I just was like, well, first I need to get someone to fix this school.
Yeah.
And then it's Connor and I was trying to hide behind my puppet because I was breaking as well. It was
amazing.
So silly.
You guys had to learn to do those puppets too. You're killing it. You guys amaze me. Anyway. All right, Renee, it is your guess. Pick a hashtag and who you think it is.
It's my guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to guess third time's the charm is Connor.
Connor, third time's the charm.
Yeah, that's me.
This is so enchanting. Had you ever heard that story before, ladies?
No.
Okay, Connor, break it down. Merry Wives.
Renee's getting me back because I guessed her out first last time. Yeah, so in middle school, I had a guidance counselor come up to me and tell me, like, hey, you should audition for the school play. And looking back, what she was saying was like, you're gay and we all know it. And maybe try to find an outlet. And so I went to audition for the school play and they're like, auditions were last week. Like, you missed it. You're a failure. You'll never work in this town. I was like, okay, can I be in the play? Like at some point, like in any way, I'll do it. Like, I'd just love to be a part of it. And he's like, sure. They talk about there's a line that mentions a tree in the second to last scene. So that can be you. I was like, oh my God, great. Thanks. I didn't go to a single. Why would they rehearse me? I'm just
right.
A tree.
No, you don't know.
So I just go there for opening night. Everyone in the cast is looking at me backstage like, who's that? And like, I'm just some seventh grader that was a tree. So I spent the show. It's like a 3.5 hour show because it's seventh graders trying to do Shakespeare. It was torture. And I'm going out in the bushes outside and I'm putting like sticks in my hair and I'm using like a brown pencil to like make myself a tree. And on opening night, I didn't rehearse it ever. So I didn't know what my cue was. So the scene happened and someone's like, this is your scene. You're supposed to be out there. So I started taking off my makeup and I was like, tomorrow's the day. The next show, it was so bad. We were going so over time that the director was like, hey, we're skipping scenes. We're skipping to that scene. But I knew my cue of the scene before. So I was waiting for my cue and then that scene started. So I missed night 2. But at 3, I was like, you bitches aren't doing this to me again. I'm going to make because now I've just been backstage for 2 whole shows for no reason, dressed up like a tree and no one knows who I am. Right. So the last I'm going to be on this stage. This is my debut. And I'm not kidding. I like walked out and like the lights came on and I like presented my branches. And I think the moms in the audience knew the story and felt bad for me. And I got an applause. For being and it was my full redemption arc. So it could have been like my villain origin story, but I got my moment. I got my applause as a tree and it started my career.
That's the sweetest story I think anyone's ever told anyone ever. I love it so much. All right.
I'm glad it's sweet now. It was very embarrassing in the moment.
I love it.
If you didn't clap, you would have been a villain.
Also,
that's true.
You were committed, though. The makeup, you were going to kill it.
Listen, I had nothing else to do.
All right. Brayden, it's your guess. There's 4 left.
Oh, this is the one I don't. I'm going to say it's a twister. It's Kelby.
Kelby, it's a twister. Is that you?
Oh, I guess you know me.
Wow. This is wild, right? Were you guys freaked out?
Yeah, totally freaked out. And I was just 8 years old in Oliver, and I was just, and we're in Arkansas, and I was just like, what's going on? We're all good. I wasn't being overly dramatic about it because I was actually kind of excited and I wanted to keep watching, and they pulled us all into the storm cellar. And so I had a tendency to wander off in general, like in malls or and go and introduce myself to people.
In malls.
Like so in this particular case, I wandered off to keep watching the Twister when I was supposed to be doing the Storm Cellar thing. So I got to actually see it come across the parking lot some, and then they got me back down. And so that was it. That's instead of Oliver, I swear we missed our opportunity to do the Wizard of Oz.
I mean, talk about immersive theater.
Right. Exactly.
Did you live in that area? Had you been through storms like that before, or was this like a new thing?
It was normal-ish. I didn't live in Arkansas for too long. A couple of years in Arkansas and 1 year in Oklahoma, and that was enough for me. No offense to anyone from Arkansas or Oklahoma. It's just not my jam. But the tornadoes were kind of on the regular there. So there would be tornado sirens, storm sirens, just to let people know they needed to get into shelter and that sort of thing.
Love it.
That was normal-ish. But having them just come right through your parking lot was not normal.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on stage. All right.
That was extra cool.
All right. It is my turn to guess, and I am going to say, okay, so we've got Chicago, we've got Anything Goes, we got Lexi, and we got Renee. It feels so poetic to have these two. I think Renee, you strike me more as a Anything Goes type. Is that you? Born for this?
You don't know my life.
Oh, all right.
Love saying that, don't we?
All right. Connor, it is your guess.
Oh, well, I also was thinking that was Renee, but it's got to be Lexi.
Lexi, are you born for this?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow, so you remember being in the audience and being like, I want to be up there.
Yes, so badly. The lead was actually my brother's girlfriend at the time, and I just quickly became obsessed with everything she did. She was always performing, singing in church, like doing all the things, and I just thought she was so cool, and I wanted to have her life.
And you kind of do.
I know.
Right? Was she Reno Sweeney or one of the other ones?
Yes.
Wow. Have you guys done that show?
No, it's not even honestly one of my favorite shows.
Right.
Next season at Wisteria Theater.
I just will never forget that.
Yeah, I did that in college, and it was really fun. All right, I love that. All right. So, Kelby, you could have the last guess. One of these is me, and one of these is Renee.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
No.
Oh, man. I really hope that Renee's is bad head, but I'm worried that Renee's is all that jazz. I'm gonna just Renee. I hope yours is bad head. That's my final answer.
Renee, are you bad head?
You don't know my life.
Oh,
I was so hoping that it was you.
Damn it! I was hoping it was. That would have been
so. The visual was hilarious.
I know. All right, Lexi / Kira, you get to maybe solve this riddle. Pick a hashtag and who you think it is.
Well, I think
I love it.
All that jazz is Renee.
You think it's Renee? Renee, are you all that jazz?
Yes.
I love it. So this was a formative thing. So tell us a story.
Yeah. So I had just auditioned for acting school, this acting conservatory called PCPA. And I was so excited about my audition, and I, at the very least, just felt like I'll probably never get in, but it was one of the best days of my life. And a week later, I went and saw Chicago with my family, the touring production in Sacramento, and we went out to dinner afterwards. And at the dinner table, I found out I had a voicemail from the casting director, and he said, "Hey, Renee, we want you to be a part of our conservatory class." And so it was a complete life-changing moment being able to do that and go to that school. And I would not be here at all if it hadn't been for that moment.
And you had happened to just seen a musical as well, and that was part of it. And
exactly.
Lexi, you got a surprised look on your face. Had you ever heard that story before?
I hadn't heard right when she got into PCPA. I got the goosies.
I love it.
Oh.
These theater stories are so sweet. And which brings us to mine, which isn't that sweet. But I have a visual aid. Hang on one second. I'll be right back.
Oh, yes, please. Tell me you have this animal head.
Okay, so I was in cabaret in college at Arizona State University, and I was in the number, If You Could See Her Through My Eyes, where I was the gorilla, right? So at the end of the little soft shoe, you do the turn around. You're supposed to go off stage. Well, I got a little disoriented. So I go on the side of the stage, we had other actors that were like patrons of the cabaret. So I'm kind of like at one of their tables, and I just take off my head and I look up and I'm like looking at one of the other actors, and I'm like, I don't know where I am, right? I don't know what's happening. Like, I was so disoriented. And so one of the guys just walked me off like I was some drunk actor and messed up the cabaret. So the next night we were doing the show, one of my co-stars gave me a map to off stage.
Oh, that's cute. Just really rib you.
Yes. Map to off stage, and there's Dennis, and then there's an arrow. You are here. And then there's a picture of me as the gorilla in the thing. Oh my and I have this on my wall. So I will probably never forget it because I got I think I probably would have forgotten it if I hadn't gotten the map to off stage. But that was because, things happen like that. But anyway, it was a fun time and a cute experience. All right. So we're going to reveal the scores and see who did the best. So keep your eye on the player board. And here are the final scores. 3 for Connor. Connor, you squeezed it out at the end.
Ooh.
I think it makes up for those 2 tree nights that you didn't get to do your thing. But
finally, redemption.
That is the sweetest story I've ever heard. So anyway.
Wait, can we talk about your story for a second? Because I thought you were like some background animal in like some kids show. But you're talking about Cabaret, a very intense moment to the plot about like racism and like anti-Semitism, and you just took your head off in the middle of the song.
Yeah, I was carrying all that inside me, and there it was. So thank you for acknowledging the artistry. All right, before we wrap it up, I want you guys to tell people how they can learn more about your theater company and how they can come and see Xanadu.
Yes, WisteriaTheater.com, and you go to upcoming shows, or on the homepage it says buy tickets. Mm-hmm. And
also, follow us on Instagram at Wisteria Theater.
And if you're watching this, you get a special discount code.
What?
All caps. Amuse me.
Amuse me, like get it because muses.
Yeah.
I get it. Amuse me, and you get a discount code. Thank you for doing that. That's so generous to our listeners of Dennis Anyone. You guys, this was delightful. I'm inspired by what you're doing. I love this show. I think you're all really cool. My final question is this. I've become part of a group of friends that love this movie, and we're like, I'm trying to figure out why. What is it about this? Why do we love it? And so I would love to hear from any or all of you. Why does Xanadu endure the way it does? Why do we love it?
I think part of the secret sauce is the music being like actually incredible. I think that makes moments that are cheesy and are over the top. It like anchors them into something really, I don't know, like captivating.
Yeah, I love that. That music, you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Yeah.
I think for all its flaws, the movie having Olivia Newton-John, I think that she's just very easy to watch and she's very earnest, and I think people love her.
She's a magic person.
Yeah. I think that she really, even in that like last moment when she comes out as the waitress, kind of cheesy, but you're just like, this is okay.
I was such a fan of hers growing up and still am to this day. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I think it's a sweet story. I think, yes, it's fun and it's campy, all the different versions, but it's just so sweet. And at the end of the day, it's just about art and creating something. And I think especially, I don't know if all your friends are creative, Dennis, but I feel like
a lot of them are.
Yeah. I feel like however you are creative, if you have that kind of mind and heart, you just can't help but love this show. It's just, and it also kind of makes fun of being an artist too, so you feel like in good company.
Yeah. He's like, dreams die. Yeah.
Yeah. It's relatable.
Yeah. I love it. Well, you guys are wonderful. I'm sorry about my voice. Thank you for being such good sports and playing this game. And I'm going to come see your show again. I can't wait.
So, all right.
Awesome.
Thanks so much, Dennis.
Bye, everybody. Thanks again to the folks from Xanadu the Musical at the Wisteria Theater. Go see the show if you're in town, or learn about them at WisteriaTheater.com. I love all those people. I want to be like their friend. I'm going to be like a stage Johnny because it's so close. I'm just going to pop over and like hang out and be like, hey, you want to go to Salsa and Beer? What are you guys up to? Do anything? Like, I'm going to be that guy. I think it's so cool. And so there. And if you lived here, it's the last place you would expect to find something like this. And that's why I'm so delighted by it. All right. So this happened. I forgot to mention at the front of the podcast that I also have a spin-off podcast that I do on Patreon and Substack. It's called Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay. And it has pop culture and creativity stuff and excerpts from interviews that didn't make the main show. But it ends with a little nugget about happiness. I became very interested in the science of happiness a few years ago. Basically, it was like this thing of like, well, I think I thought that you were happy if you got what you wanted. But when you don't, what are you supposed to do? Like, I didn't, and I haven't in some ways. And so are you just not supposed to be happy? So I started to research it and learn things and tools to help me deal with rejection and keeping going and all of this stuff. And it's really helped me. And it's still a struggle, believe me. But that's what I end every episode with, things that I've learned or read about or applied and just little nuggets about happiness. So you can learn about that at substack.com and search Dennis. Wait, what's the name of my show? Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay. Or you can do it the same thing on Patreon. And I appreciate the people that have done it. But so this happened just before we started recording this. I went to UCLA Extension to see what kind of classes they have. I'm looking into finding some other source of income. I'm also really interested in learning things right now. I went to a candle making workshop earlier this year. And I think I talked about this, but in the beginning, everyone was sitting around in like a U-shaped table, and there was a chalkboard and a teacher, and I sat down and I had my notebook and my pen, and I was like, oh, I love this. So anyway, I'm interested in learning. Well, I was just at UCLA Extension's website. They have a class in happiness and positive psychology, and there are programs out there, but some of them are like tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I may take this course. I think it's online. It's $900, which isn't, for me right now, that's a lot, but I think it's intriguing, and I didn't know. I don't think it was there before. Maybe it's new. But, yeah, should I do that? Anyone want to donate $900? Anyone want to Venmo me $900? Oh, man. Okay, that's where we're at, but I may do that. And if you want to check out Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay, do that at Substack or Patreon. And very exciting. Also, I want to get a plug in for the Xanadu weekend that we have coming up. It's August 8th through the 10th. The 9th is the screening. It's sold out. But you could learn about things at XanaduExperience.com. Maybe you could try to get a ticket at the door. I don't know. It's going to be pandemonium. We're doing signings and a Q&A. Michael Beck is coming in for it, and it's going to be amazing. But there are two things before and after that are, I think there are still tickets available. There's a wonderful concert the night before, performed by my friends Lisa Donahue and Eric Seppala, and it's going to be all Xanadu stuff, a tribute to Olivia, and that's at the Colony Theater in Burbank, and I will be there. And then on the Sunday, we're going to have a picnic in Pan Pacific Park, where the building that was the exterior of Xanadu, I forget what it was called. Maybe it was the Pan Pacific Auditorium. I don't know. It burned to the ground after they shot the movie, but they've kept a little bit of the architecture as like a tribute, and we're going to have a picnic there from 12 to 3, and then we're going to take a picture in front of the thing, and it'll be a thing. So that's all. Learn about that at XanaduExperience.com. All right, thanks for listening. I want to give a shout-out to Oscar Rosario for mixing my episodes. My theme music is by Mark Daniels for Placement Music. We'll catch you next time on Dennis Anyone. Bye!